Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show how to install Kubernetes Cluster using Kops in AWS. Let's move on to next slide. Okay. I'm gonna use Ubuntu. This Ubuntu is my laptop. Using my laptop, I am going to create a Kubernetes cluster in AWS. Okay. Before creating a Kubernetes cluster, there are three mandatory steps you need to take in your Linux environment. Anything like Ubuntu, Debian. So we need to check whether we have Kops. The Kops helps to create a Kubernetes cluster, and kubectl to interact terminal, and the AWS CLI is to communicate with the AWS, and this communication can be happen through IAM rules. When we create a IAM, we have to specify the permissions for the user to access this Kubernetes cluster. And Amazon S3 bucket is nothing but for the storage of information about the cluster, and route 53 redirects the client request to the cluster. Okay, let's move on to the demo. I'm just going to follow these steps which I have written. I'll walk you through step by step. We need to install Kops in our Linux system. We can use this URL, or else you can go to the official website of Kubernetes, installing a Kubernetes with Kops. Okay, you can just follow this step, and you need to give the permissions. After downloading, we need to move into the bin folder. Okay, after that we need to make sure we have kubectl in our system. For downloading a kubectl, you can go to this page and check how to install a kubectl on Linux. Same, we have to downloading, we have to give the permission, and same as like Kops, we moved into the bin folder. We need to move kubectl into the bin folder. Just finally check the version whether it's successfully installed. Move on to the slide back, and we need to check whether we install AWS CLI. For installing AWS CLI, you can check here. Okay, I will just confirm whether I have these three components in my system. Let's check Kops. Okay, you can see that I have already installed the Kops. Let's check for kubectl. You can see that I have installed already kubectl. Let's check for AWS CLI. Oops. Okay, it's asking for the access key, so it is installed already. Let's move on to second port. This complete port belongs to AWS account. The left hand port which I did, we can create a separate server in AWS, and we can do this three step, but I have did in my laptop as a server, and I'm trying to create a Kubernetes cluster in AWS. Now we move on to fourth step. We need to create AWS IAM role. Right now I have only one instance. Okay, let's go to the service. We want to create IAM role. The IAM role is used to mention the permission for the developer to access the Kubernetes cluster. I'm going to there are 0 users, add user. I'm just going to give username as demo1. Okay, and we need to give the access type as a programmatic access. Next, it is asking. Okay, already I have created. You can create a new group, even though create a new group, give group name. I'm going to give demo demo1. I'm going to give the administrator access, but as per the rule we have to give the permission depends on their need to access the Kubernetes cluster. For the demo purpose I am giving the administrator access. Next, just give next. You can give key value that, but it's optional, that's fine. Let's move on. Create user. You need this access key ID and security access key for the purpose of accessing from this terminal to the AWS cloud. Okay, I'll show you later. We'll just copy this access ID here, this sake of focus. And go back to the slide. We completed step 4. We have to create Amazon S3 bucket. That's a step 5. S3 bucket. Create a bucket. Make sure always this bucket name should be unique in particular region where we are creating the cluster. For example, we are creating the cluster in EU Paris. In this Paris region, the bucket name should be unique. So I'll try to give demo -1. I don't think this name will be available. Let's hope for the best. Okay, we'll try 01. Create. Yeah, let's next create a bucket. Bucket has been created successfully. Go back to the slide. Final step is route 53. Route 53 is a DNS service which redirects the client request to Kubernetes cluster. Sorry. Route 53. Okay. Go to the hosted zones. I'm going to create a hosted zone. Click here. I have already a domain name. You can create it if you want. Going to give domain name as demotech.xyz. I'm going to give the type as public hosted zone, and it's successfully created. For the communication purpose, we need to give name server in my namecheap.com so that it will be synced together. I'm just providing these details. New record. This is name service ns record. I'm giving a value, and the host I'm giving the demo.xyz. Just add it. this as well as move on to next. Everything is done. Let's go back to our slide. So all the install has been done. Okay, let's go to the notes. We completed installing Kops. We'll installing AWS CLI. The IAM rules also done. Creating a S3 bucket for state storage configuration file keys and stuff, that also done. Creating DNS configuration of route 53, that is done. Now finally we are going to create Kubernetes cluster using Kops. For example, I'm copying this, going back to the terminal. Before that I need to access the AWS CLI. Okay, it is asking for access key ID. I think you remember while we are creating IAM role, we copied this as a key, access key. Just paste this one and it will ask for the security access key. We need to copy. After that it is asking do you want to any particular region, or I can go for default region. I'm just going ahead with the default region. Output format none, that's fine. Now we can create Kubernetes cluster using Kops. I'll just take this one, paste. We need to check the Kops create cluster name. I'm giving as demo tech.xyz, the state of S3. We need to check what is the name we have given our S3 bucket. Okay, got it. demo-on01. After that, zone, default zone, that's fine. And I'm giving number of count b2, and I'm providing the node size is T2 micro. If you wish, you can go for any other node size, and I'm providing master size as well as T2 micro, and the DNS zone demo tech XYZ. Okay, let's create the cluster. If you find any difficulties, please go through Kubernetes documentation, it will be useful. Okay, the cluster has been created, the template of the cluster has been created, but actual cluster is not yet created. We need to give -s so that the cluster will be created finally. So just copy this. Error reading configuration. Okay, let's check this problem. We need to export the Kops state storage. Bucket name demo 101. Now we'll try to create again the cluster. No, we need to update the cluster. Finally the cluster is created. So creating. Let's check whether the cluster is created. Sometimes it will say cluster failed, but we need to wait for the cluster come. It takes like 2 to 5 minutes to create the cluster. Yeah, you can see here the cluster has been created. We'll go back to our AWS cloud. I'll go to the EC2 instance. You can have a look. Before I showed you the running instances, of only one instance I had before, and you can see here one master node and 2 slave nodes are created. Okay, and want to show you VPC which is created, and you can see like VPC is also created, NAT gateway, yeah, and the subnet. Okay, I hope everyone understood. As of now, if you have any doubts, please give me the comment. I will get back to you. Thank you.